So we just got back from Mr. Olympia Prejudging, and we had really good seats. Being Brandon's business partner, Brandon Curry's business partners have its perks. So I wanted to go over my thoughts of it, and just for the record, it will be perhaps potentially biased. But what I've seen online, a lot of people share my perspective. And also what I want you to know is that if you saw this online, it's not the same as in person. The pixelation, you can't tell the quality, you can't tell the graininess, or a lot of things that we can tell in person. So let me just tell you my rundown of what I saw. Number one is I love Phil Heath. He's a friend of mine. Absolutely no animosity. This is me being as objective as possible. And also, I'm going to speak as someone who has had the exact same, from what I can tell, abdominal surgery as Phil. I have not confirmed this with him, but it appears he had a diastasis repair where they took a mesh, put it underneath his abdominal muscles, and secured it with tacks. Judging by the line down his middle of the stomach, mine was done laparoscopically because I had a really good surgeon, Dr. White in St. Charles, Illinois. Doesn't appear Phil had my surgeon, so he has a big scar. The horizontal scar, I am guessing, and I could be wrong, this would happen to me. After the mesh was put in, I pulled 2 abdominal muscles, tore them over the mesh because we train, we do crazy stuff. For me, the abdominal surgery took about 2.5 years to fully recover, to get over the edema and all that, because, I mean, you're cutting your stomach open. Katie, you would say about 2 years, right? Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't 1, that's for damn sure. And I expected, we got there, and look, I'll be real, man. I just launched 015 Nutrition with Brandon. Him winning the show doesn't make or break the brand, but it sure as shit doesn't hurt it. So I was scared that Phil was going to come out 2003 Ronnie Coleman. I'm talking just people's jaws dropped. Phil came out, that didn't happen. Because Phil was visibly, and this is me speaking as an objective guy, pretending I'm not literally staying in the house that Brandon's staying in next week, where our families go to Disney together. I'm trying my best to disconnect myself from that, right? Phil he was good, but he didn't jaw drop. Nobody was like, oh my goodness. Like when Ronnie walked out in 03, dude, you could hear a pin drop because people were that shocked. It didn't happen. Phil looked not his 2013 level. He looked slightly worse than he did when he lost to Sean. And I'm just being real. The Sean Roden loss in 2018. Brandon, as Mr. Olympia, gets to go last. He gets to bring up the crowd. And I'll tell you what, Brandon's legs will never be his glaringly best body part. And he knows that. But what can you do when you can't bring a body part up genetically? You make it as shredded as you can get. And I confirmed this with many people, many bodybuilders, many people who were there in attendance, many coaches, many people you know from the industry. We haven't seen conditioning like Brandon brought to that stage since 2003. That's right, when Ronnie Coleman brought that 290-pound shredded glutes. Brandon came in with shredded glutes, and what you're not going to see, what you're not going to see on the internet, what you're not going to see on the live stream, what you're not going to see in pictures on Generation Iron's Instagram, is the quality that Brandon brought. He had a grainy texture to his muscle. His hamstrings were grainy. They weren't the biggest hamstrings on stage. His hamstrings were grainy. They were shredded. They were diced. His glutes were etched from anus to outside, from anus to edge. He had that thing etched. Phil turned around. If your stomach is, protruding a little bit, I understand. I've had the surgery. It fucking sucks. Phil's a bodybuilder. That's how he makes his money. He had to go get paid. I don't know that for sure, but I don't need $400,000 to survive. But it'd be fucking nice if I had $400,000. Wouldn't it be nice if we had $400,000, Katie? That's why Katie has agreed to let me go to Kuwait and get ready for the Olympia next year. So here's where I have it. So I'm going to give you my top 4. And then I'm going to give you what I think is going to happen. So my top 4, which isn't going to happen. The top 2 might. My top 4 has Brandon Curry number 1 because he is Mr. Olympia. To beat Mr. Olympia, you have to beat the shit out of Mr. Olympia. Nobody beat the shit out of Mr. Olympia. Brandon was on. To maintain it, he has to be on. He was on. He was 50% better than last year. I said he's 20% about a week ago. He's 50% better. Okay, number 2, who do I have? Big Ramy. Not even close. Do you have Ramy number 2, Katie?
Yeah, I'm reading some comments. A lot of people think he's first. I mean, he had an impressive package, but he didn't beat Brandon.
I don't think Ramy beat Brandon, but I think it's a toss. There's a lot of things that go into it, man. It's not just bigness, but again, you can't tell the graininess on stage. You just can't see that. But Ramy, if he won, I wouldn't throw a chair. He looked fucking good. He brought it. We'll see what he brings. I think Phil's going to get either second or third. I put Phil third just because he's Phil. I do. But I do think fourth is someone who I think should probably beat Phil, and that's Akeem Williams. Akeem brought a hard, dense, muscular, ridiculous package. I put Boniak, I put him 5th. That's my 5th place. 6th place because this is last Olympia and because you can't play. Like, even when Branch went out, they gave him 6th, even though I don't think he deserved it. I put Dexter. Dexter at 6th place. After that, toss it up in the air. Few guys on that stage I don't think belonged on a pro stage, let alone a Olympia stage. And I'm not saying that because I'm a dick. I suck. I'm not a good bodybuilder. I get it. I'm not comparing myself. But there's some guys where I wonder, how the hell did they get that Olympia qualification? I mean, you're standing up against the best in the world. And if you're going to be a smaller guy, if you're going to be an underdog, you got to bring conditioning. What are you doing getting on an Olympia stage without glutes? And that goes for Phil too. Phil, you can bring glutes. I don't know what you did, 2 weeks out, 1 week out, 4 weeks out, but them glutes need to be in if you're trying to unseat a Mr. Olympia. So I don't see Big Ramy winning just because I don't think it's the package they're looking for. But if he won, I think that's a logical number 1. I think I can make an argument for that. I can't make an argument for Phil beating Ramy. I can't. Can you, Katie? Can you make an argument for Phil beating Ramy?
Beating Ramy?
Yeah. Do you think Phil can beat Ramy in any stretch of the imagination? Do you think Phil beats Ramy? Can you make that argument? It's tough. And I can't make an argument for Phil beating Brandon. I can't. Brandon beat him in every single pose.
Glutes, he had abs, which Phil had neither.
Yeah, it's one.
He had them, but not on certain poses. His abs were not showing.
Phil might have him on certain body parts, but not on certain poses. I think I can make an argument for Phil beating Akeem, but I can't make an argument for Phil beating Ramy or Phil beating Brandon. But here's where I think they're going to place him. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Brandon's going to win it. I think Phil will be second. I think Ramy will be third. I think Boniak will be fourth. Hottie will be fifth. Dexter will be sixth. That's what I got. But let me know your thoughts. Comment down below, and a lot can happen because they do judge that finals night. They do judge it. And Phil has, people keep saying Phil does better on Saturday. That was before Phil had that stomach problem. And I'm not hating on it, dude. It wrecked me. Like, I know right now Phil's going through some mental anguish, and I'm just telling you what happened. It's a horrible surgery. And I think Phil should have given it an extra year, but Phil's 41 years old. Phil ain't got an extra year. I'm 40, man. At 40, shit's not easy. Like, I dropped out of Masters USA this year because I couldn't handle it. Yeah, Phil doesn't have a full-time job like I do running businesses, but it's hard. It's hard. And I'm not taking away from Phil, but realize the injury he sustained was fucking bad. It wasn't just a hernia. It was something much beyond a hernia. And I hope y'all know that Phil coming back from this, you guys got to give him the utmost respect for coming back from this injury because it's a bitch of an injury. And I speak from experience. You can't shit for a week straight because you can't contract your abs. Horrible surgery. Horrible recovery. Props to him for coming back. Although I will say after that surgery, I did guest post 7 weeks after it, but I looked like shit. So anyway, guys, that's what I got. What do you think? Comment down below. Again, my top 6, what I pick, what I think is going to happen tomorrow, based on everything, not my opinion. I've already given you that. Brandon, Phil, Ramy. Then I think they're going to go Boniak, Hottie, Dexter. Let me know your thoughts. The Outright Bar was created for my kids. My kids need a snack to eat during soccer tournaments, and also I wanted a bar for myself to eat pre-workout, post-workout, and also throughout the day. You want your Outright Bars right now. That's why we have a partnership going with the Vitamin Shop to make sure that we're in all 750 plus locations, providing the best price, the best service, the best people to give you the Outright Bar when and where you need it.